Radhe Radhe, Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Haribol.
Last night
we had a power cut.
And no one was able to watch till the end and to have darshan of Thakurji. So today we're beginning with Shri Radha Vinod Bihariji and Sri Gauranga and all Thakurjis here. And then we'll begin the program. Gurudev. There's Kishori, Mohan, and this is our drummer, Suvi. Subhadra. Without her, what would we be doing? Okay, so now we will begin. Dandavat pranam, everyone.
Dandavat pranam.
Subi, can you help me plug this in? Is it in? No?
That explains it.
Okay. All right, and... Okay. Haribol, everybody. I see Jayanti, Devaki, Nandini, Dayal Hari, Katie, so many Vaisnavas, so many friends. Thank you for joining us. We're just about to begin. I just gave darshan.
Yeah, you need to do it again.
Dandavat Shashank. Haribol.
Shashank?
Shashank ji.
Radhe Radhe.
So we will begin on page 1 with Mangalacharan. Is this leaning too much?
Radhe, Radhe.
Okay.
Radhe.
Okay.
Page 1, Mangalacharan. Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri Yuttapadakamalam, D-A-N-D-E, Vande.
Everyone, welcome to our little room in Vrindavan, Gopinath Bhavan, right next to Jamunaji.
Shri Krishna
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajanine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gaurapreshtaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragya Keshava Nityanamine Patimadhyacharitraya Svashrikananchamanine Jivanadukhe Sadaratayo Shri Rama Premadayine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Vaishnavani Devi Daikaya Kripabhaye Krishna Sambandha Vigyano Daine Brahmave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Ninatarine Rupanuga Vimudhapa Siddhanta Bhaktaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vainavyamurtaye Vipralampara Sambodhe Padam Gurujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanugarbharayane Gauravirbhava Bhuvesvam Nirdeshta Sajanampriya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaye Namaha Manchvakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyaeva cha Patinitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayam Surato Panga Mama Mandam Madhegati Vatsarvasvatpadam Mojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadrumara Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastro Shri Shri Radha Shri Govinda Devo Prishthanidhi Sevamano Swarami Shri Mandra Sarasarambhi Vanshivaddatta Kastitaha Karshan Venu Svarego
going to begin with Gurudev Boro Kripa Kori.
What
Starts with Gurudev Boro Kripa Kori.
What page?
Page 33 in the small songbook.
This songbook here, 33. Or in your Gaudiya Kirtan app, Gurudev, Gurudeva Boro Kripa Kori.
Or just wait for Jiva Papa Prabhu to post it. Kishori, you
It needs to go a little lower. Gurudev Boro Kripa Kori, Gora Mono Majhe, Guru Meri Acho Boro Kripa Kori, Gora Mono Majhe, Guru Meri Acho Guru Kripa Karo Vaisnava Thakur, page 40. Kripa, K-R-P-A. Kripa Karo Vaisnava Thakur. Nitai Padakamala, Kurti Chandra Shushitala.
Page 58 in the songbook. Nitai, Nitai Pada Kamala. Srimati, page 66. Also, if you don't have a songbook or the Gaudiya Kirtan app, Jiva Pavana Prabhu keeps posting the bhajans on the thread so you can go and look and find where they are. Thank you, Jiva Pavana Prabhu.
So I've been requested to speak a little something about this bhajan, which is so...
As Gurudev would say, 2 words.
2 words. I don't know if he ever told me that. I don't even know if I know how to do that. So this is a bhajan composed from the heart of Sri Bhaktivedanta Thakur. And he's speaking about what is favorable, what is beneficial, and the joy that is in his heart, and why that joy has manifested in his heart. So he starts by speaking about how I am so unfortunate, I'm so fallen, I'm so wicked. Emona durmati. Durmati means very unfortunate, very wicked, very fallen. Somehow I have ended up in this samsara, in this repetition of birth, disease, old age, and death. But he doesn't leave us trapped in samsara. If you notice how our Gaudiya Vaisnava Acharyas, our Gurudeva, Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Parampara, how they preach, they don't only speak about the material negatives. They don't just say, woe is me, I'm trapped in this material world. They always end it with hope. They always give us something to pray for, to grab onto. Not just that I am suffering and wallowing in this material world, but Tavani Jajan, your own person. Who is your own person? That is Sri Gurudev. Gon Mahajane Pataya Dile Suni. You have sent your own person to save me. Srila Gurudeva Maharaj, today I was reading, he was saying that Krishna has sent his own man, his own person to save us, and they are carrying ropes. But what are those ropes bound to? Those ropes are bound to the lotus feet of Krishna. And those pure devotees are manifesting in this world, being sent by Krishna, and they're lowering those ropes into the well, saying, hold on, mercy ropes, hold on, bind yourself to that rope, don't have any slack, and hold on and don't let go, I will pull you out. You have sent an exalted soul. What do? They don't just come and look at us. They say, listen to me. I have great news. And then they want us to act on that news. Oh, hey, Dinajan Shuno Bhalo Kata. Listen to this great news, O fallen soul. What is that great news? That great news applies to all of us here and now. Tomare Tarite Shri Krishna Chaitanya Navadvipe Avatar. The Supreme Lord Shri Krishna has manifested in Navadvip as Shachinandan Gaura Hari, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Shachinandan Gaura Hari Ki Jai. And what is his function? Ke javike, jabire bha. Dhanya Kali Juge Chaitanya Avatar Jabi Bhavapar. He is ferrying us across this ocean of material existence. This Kali Yuga is known as Dhanya Kali. It is no ordinary Kali Yuga. Once in a day of Brahma, 8,640,000,000 years, Sri Shachinandan Gaurahari, Krishna himself appearing in the mood of Srimati Radhika, manifests in this world and gives Krishna prem, Braja prem, spontaneous raga, marga, bhakti, spontaneous attraction to Krishna in Vrindavan. He awakens that in the hearts of the jivas through the process of Harinam Sankirtan. That same Sri Krishna Chaitanya is bringing us across this ocean of material existence. Therefore, it is known as Dhanya Kali Yuga. Vedera Pratigya Rakhi Bharatare Rukmavarna Viprasuta. So this is explaining what his appearance will be. The promise in the Vedas, Krishna Varnam Krisha Krishnam Sangopam Ashtavarshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayat Yajantihi Sumedhasa. How will he be? Rukma Varna. He will be the color of molten gold. But how are his hands? How is he dressed? Rukma Varna. It means he is the color of the rising sun. We say this, Udilo Arana Purabhavage, the color of the rising sun. When you see him manifesting in the distance, how beautiful. When the rising sun comes, that means it is the end of my material existence, right? Nishanta means the light is starting to appear, but once you see that light is Sachinandan Gaura Hari. And he has not come alone. He has come with the great Avadut Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who has manifested directly in front of us in the form of Sri Guru. So Bhaktivedanta Thakur is saying that they have come and they have said, you should come and receive your deliverance. All in this world are like Jagai and Madai. Even Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says, I am lower, more simple than Jagai and Madai. And yet, they don't just remain in this place of woe is me, I am so simple. They always follow with, so please give me your mercy. Bhaktivedanta Thakur also prays like that in, what is this bhajan? Gopinath Mamani Vedarshuno, Vishayi Durjan. I am so low, I am so fallen, my thirst for material enjoyment is so great. He says, you have given liberation even to the demons, Asura Sakala, Pailo Charna. Now I am praying to you. If you can give it to them, surely you must be merciful to me.
Make your name Latita Pavan and true.
Yes. So go and receive your deliverance. What is the price to pay to receive your deliverance? You just admit, I am fallen, I am lowly, I am sinful, but I am also an eternal soul. I am made to love Krishna. Please be merciful to me. Taking hold of your lotus feet, I am begging you to give me your shelter. As Narottam Das Thakur says, Rakho Ranga Charanerapash. We just sang Nitai Padakamala. Please give me your mercy and keep me close to your lotus feet. If Nityananda Prabhu, if Sri Guru gives you shelter, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is bound to give you shelter. So here, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, he's weeping at the feet of the Lord, telling the story of his life. But really, this is for all of us. Look at our condition. And we can also pray to Bhaktivedanta Thakur that may he help us to realize ourselves in this situation and apply this prayer to ourselves. Weeping and weeping, begging for mercy. We can also tell the story of our life and pray to the Lord for his mercy.
Now there is a quest for Gopinath Mani. I was going to say Namami Nandananda.
Huh?
I was going to say Namami Nandananda.
I can't hear.
Namami Nandananda.
Do you want me to say?
No. What page?
So there's a request now because I said it, Gopinath Mamani Vedana Shuna.
We need Chakri.
We need what?
What page?
Starts with Gopinath, Gopinath, 130. And we're only going to do one of the bhajans. There's a set of 3. We're going to do one. Jiva Pavan Prabhu, can you find Aisi Kripa Karo Shri Radhe and KK songs? Aisi, A-I-S-I. Aisi Kripa Karo. Did you find it?
What's the lake?
Oh.
I can just try to like listen and do it. It's too long to wait.
Did he send it already?
You might not be able to find it.
A-I-S-I? Aisi Kripa. It's right there. It's English.
Hare Krishna.
It's so funny, it's giving me the lyrics in Devanagari script as well. Shouldn't be doing that. There it is. You can't upload it? Yeah. Sit it.
You don't need it?
No.
Thank you.
But I'm gonna take it out. It's fast to be fast.
Would you want to take my class and I'll play?
No, just can't play it loud.
ऐसी कृपा करो श्री राधे मिलो वृंदावन को वास। ऐसी कृपा करो श्री राधे मिलो वृंदावन को वास। ऐसी कृपा करो Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, लाल की जय। कृपानंद गौरी गुरुवर्ग की जय। प्रतिपादन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम शचीनंदन गौर हरि की जय। श्री राधा बिहारी शिव की जय। राधा रमन सरकार की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। गौरवंदन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदान्त नारायण नामिने। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times unto the dust of the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Astottara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the same unlimited pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Astottara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. To all of our Rupanam Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, and all of those who are watching on Facebook now and who will later, my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
So we're continuing with Going Beyond Vaikuntha. This is by Sri Sanatan Goswami. It's actually our Gurudev's commentary on Sri Sanatan Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And we will pray to both of them. First to Sri Sanatan Goswami, Vairaga Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnaya Payanam Mam Anubhikshamandam Kripam Vidirya Paradukha Dukhi Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami. Please may they both be merciful to us, and they manifest even a drop of their moods in our hearts that are flowing from these pages. Also, today is the disappearance anniversary of Srila Bhakti Tirtha Goswami Maharaj, which we are observing here in Vrindavan. And as we told the other day, on the days of any Vaishnava, any great personality, appearance and disappearance days, we must, not only because we must, but for our own benefit, for spiritual benefit, and also because we need to and because we want to, we must find a way to glorify such personalities. I never met Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj personally, but I have met many of his disciples and seen the effect of his preaching and teaching. Today I was reading from Srila Bhakti Bharati Goswami Maharaj that Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, who was the Acharya of that mission after Srila Bhakti Maharaj Goswami Maharaj. He's a disciple of Srila Bhakti Maharaj Goswami Maharaj, which is the first thing I should mention about him. Because if anyone wants to receive mercy from anyone, then it will be in connection with their Gurudeva and Guru Parampara. So Srila Bhakti Bharati Maharaj said that he was like a encyclopedia of the teachings of his Gurudev. That he would not speak anything that wasn't what he heard from his Gurudev, or other pure Vaishnavas. He was known for that. And that's a very powerful lesson for all of us. We like to try to speak or think about things which are outside of the jurisdiction. How do you say? Taking the exception rather than the rule. But for most of us, if we really want to make progress on the path of bhakti, then we need to hold on to our Gurudev's teachings, our Gurudev's moods, our Gurudev's conceptions. What do we know in this world? We are so small. We are infinitesimal jivas who have been bound since time without beginning. And we have not successfully freed ourselves, so we are dependent on Sri Guru. If we do practice of the conceptions that our Gurudev and our Guru Varga have given us, then through that repetitive practice, we will become knowledgeable. We will become perfect in the art of loving Krishna, which is the only art that is necessary. So Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj showed by his own example that just like if you want to learn singing and be an expert singer, you must do hours and hours of training every day. Or if you want to be an expert mridanga player or an expert artist, you need to practice your art. What was his art? His art was holding tightly to the lotus feet of his Gurudev, his Gurudev's conceptions, the conceptions of those Vaishnavas who were in line with the conception of his Gurudev. And you see how he would exhibit his moods of devotion because of his humility. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, Trinara Pisuni Chena does not mean what we think it means. That we should be more humble than a blade of grass and more tolerant than a tree and be trodden on by everyone to the point of where if someone tells you don't chant Hare Krishna, why are you chanting that? Oh yes, you're right. No. He said Trinarapi Sunichena means to be humble to Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas. So this is such an important thing that one must be under the guidance of Vaishnavas to understand the words of the Lord or the words of Shastra. Without that, we might think, yes, Hiranyakashipu said, don't chant the names of the Lord. Yes. Imagine if Prahlad followed his father's advice. We would have never heard of Prahlad. But he continued to chant Harinam because he was under the guidance of Narad Muni, who's a pure devotee of the Lord. So Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Maharaj, one great glory of his that I always remember is how he would take shelter of Harinam Prabhu. Like the gopis of Vrindavan, when Krishna left, they were cast into a deep state of separation. But Krishna promised, don't worry, I'll return in 2 days or 4. So they were remaining on the border of Vrindavan, in that place, waiting for Krishna's return. Not 3 days, not 4 days, not 4 months or 4 years. A very long time went by. But because Krishna promised, I will return very soon, they always had that endless burning hope that for sure and certain he will come, because he said he will come. Even though maybe he was delayed somehow. And they didn't want to give up their lives, although ordinarily they would have. If he would have said to them, I'll never return, maybe they would have left their bodies, given up their life on the spot. But he said, I will return. In order that they did not break his heart, that he might be expecting to see them upon his return, they maintained their life, their prana within their bodies. Of course, they're all transcendental, but this is told by our Guru Varga. In the same way, Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Maharaj, when he would take shelter of Harinam Prabhu, means when we would chant our japa, he was serving Harinam Prabhu. It is said that every bead that he would chant on, he would be Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Krishna did not manifest in this mantra. It must be that he was delayed somehow. I'm sure, for certain, in the next mantra, he will manifest himself. With that kind of hope, with that kind of expectation, with that kind of attention, with that kind of prayerful mood. It's the mood of the gopis. Then he would go to his next bead. Hare Krishna. For sure he will manifest in this mantra. We should have that kind of mood when we are chanting. And he's teaching us that we shouldn't just chant haphazardly. Air conditioner, air warmer, air conditioner, like that. So many different kinds of chanting which is completely spaced out and not focused. But he showed us by his own personal example how we should chant with that endless hope. That is our best friend, that hope. Even Rupa Goswami, there's one verse in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he's saying, although I don't even, Mahaprabhu says, I don't even have a scent of prem, na prema gando. Rupa Goswami says, I don't even have as much as a sesame seed of bhakti. I don't have anything. There's that one verse that says, but still I have this endless hope, and that is what is keeping me alive. This hope, that asha. Rupa Goswami is saying, please always allow my mind to go to your lotus feet, like a bumblebee goes to a lotus flower. Even though I don't have any bhakti for you, still you can make the impossible possible. So that prayerful mood, that hopeful mood should always be there. Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, he gave us this very great gift. And he preached all over the world very, very strongly and powerfully, sticking strictly to Srimad Bhagavatam, to the words of our Guru Varga. He was very strong, but also very sweet. When he was preaching, he was uncompromising. But the devotees who have mentioned his nature, he was so soft and gentle and so humble. He did not want to accept the position of Acharya. His Gurudev wanted him to take it, and finally when he accepted it, he was so humbled by it. Most people would be like, yes, now I am the person who's in complete control. I have total power. This is the nature of people in this world who get a little bit of power. They want to be the supreme all-powerful because the demon inside becomes awakened. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. But the Vaisnava, even when a position comes to them, they only see it in terms of service to their Gurudev. Trinadapi suni chena. More humble. Feeling more lowly than a blade of grass in the street. More humble. More tolerant than a tree. Ready to offer all respect to others. So he saw that this position my Guru Maharaj has given me was really in extreme mercy to me. That he's always keeping me on my toes. That he's keeping me remembering Krishna constantly. That I have to be a representative in such a way that I cannot disappoint all of these devotees. And that they're always reminding me of Krishna. So therefore they're all my gurus. And it is my service to serve them. They're telling me, give Harikatha, so I'm following their order to speak about Krishna. So this is how the pure devotee's mood is. He's not looking that I am the great controller and I am your God. No, I am your servant. I am here to serve you, to help engage you in the service of Krishna. Isn't it beautiful? Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, if you've seen him do kirtan, we've heard about it. We've heard how one should cry like a baby for its mother when we are calling out the holy names of the Lord. If you see that, there's a video on YouTube. Maybe if someone has instant access to it, please share it on the timeline. But yes, the way he would call out the holy names, I don't want to use the word sing because it wasn't singing. He was crying. He was throwing his head back in the air and crying out. His mouth was opening and he looked just like a baby crying for his mother. We hear about it, but to really see it, the kind of full dedication and energy he gave in kirtan, it wasn't for show. Most of us, we like to do kirtan for show. Most kirtaniyas, we like to make a beautiful show out of it. Look how expert I am at my instrumentation, or look, this is the nature of those who are conditioned souls. But the pure devotees, they don't have this nature at all. They have only a mood of pure, loving service to Krishna. And Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj exemplified this in his kirtan. How kirtan was his process of bhakti, of loving devotional service to Krishna. I can't remember the tune that he would sing at this moment. Okay. So I just wanted to offer my Dandavat Pranam in the dust of his lotus feet, that may his intense moods of bhajan, his intense moods of serving his Gurudev, his intense moods of following the order of his Gurudev and serving all of the Vaishnavas, how he would enter into his sadhan bhajan, how he would take shelter of Harinam Prabhu at the time of chanting japa, how he would take shelter of Harinam Prabhu at the time of doing kirtan. May he manifest even a drop of those moods into our hearts. Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaja ki jai. So I'm just going to do a very quick recap on the very last part of what we were discussing of chapter 1. Our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj was mentioning how our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he gave him Gopal Mantra and Kam Gayatri. And Gurudev asked him, please tell me a little bit about it. He said, it will eventually reveal everything it needs to reveal, because actually Kam Gayatri and Gopal Mantra are non-different from Radha and Krishna. So as you continue chanting, continue going deep, continue praying and meditating, Radha and Krishna will reveal themselves, and at the appropriate time, everything that is necessary will be revealed within your heart. Our Gurudev said, I have always followed his instruction in this regard, and there has never been any necessity for me to ask anyone else. And those who have heard from our Gurudev, who have gone deeply into their mantras and heard also what he has said about these mantras, you can understand that he had beautiful, perfect realization of these mantras by following that process, what his Gurudev gave him. Did you find it? Someone posted it today.
So put it in front of there so they can.
Is that the one? Yes, you should.
Can you make sure it's showing it yet?
It's
Properly.
gonna delay it.
Is it showing straight?
It's starting.
Yes, ma'am.
Or maybe you can put it in the center now.
Is that the center?
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you for showing that. So, Gopakumar had also been in a similar situation, except his guru disappeared. He met his guru was giving him mantra. He asked his guru, who gave him this Gopal mantra, what is the meaning? And as his guru was telling him that this mantra is, he was starting to explain. He said here, listen, with the flute in his hands and a peacock feather on his head, the incomparably marvelous Shyam Sundar. Second he said the name Shyam Sundar, he immediately went into ecstatic trance, ecstatic, deep bhavs, started manifesting all ashtasattvic bhavs in his body. He was rolling on the ground, roaring, hair standing on end, tears flowing. And he began to be in a very faint situation, like unconscious. Again and again, falling on the ground, jumping up, falling on the ground. So this Gopakumar went to get him some water from Jamuna, and when he returned, he was nowhere to be found. And he searched and searched everywhere, but could not find him, so he never heard the meaning of the mantra from his guru. But his guru had given him the mantra. So, chapter 2, Gopakumar's remarkable journey. Gopakumar's guru had disappeared, but his firm faith, his nishtha, never left him. This is important. Our Gurudev wanted that all of us would come to the point of Guru Nishtha before he left our vision, before he left this world. He wanted us to come there. Because Guru Nishtha is the backbone of bhakti. He wanted us to all come to that platform where nothing would shake us or break us from our faith and our conviction in the lotus feet of our Gurudev, in Sri Harinam Prabhu. Like Prahlad, he's the embodiment of Nishtha. Hiranyakashipu tried in so many ways to distract him, to break his faith. He tried being nice, he tried killing Prahlad in thousands of different ways, but nothing could break his faith. Like Haridas Thakur, he said, you can chop my body into thousands of pieces, and still I can never give up the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. This is Nishtha. No matter what, I will not give it up. And we can see where our strength and our conviction is. When difficulties come in our life, do we remember Guru? Do we remember Krishna? Or do we start becoming panicked and freaking out and worrying about everything else in this world? All of the problems. Remembering the problems of this world will not help us at the time of death. Remembering Krishna, remembering the lotus feet of our spiritual master, which are the only way by which we can cross over this ocean of material existence. Remembering the Vaishnavas, remembering Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, the sweet pastimes of Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Vrindavan Dham, and all of the pastime places within Vrindavan Dham. Remembering all of that, that will be our true benefit when that time comes. Remembering problems, there is nowhere in any Shastra that says if you're contemplating on the problems of this world that you will get any real benefit. In fact, that only binds us in samsara, in this material world. Remembering problems gives us problems. Krishna promises, whatever state of consciousness you're in when you leave this world, at the time of death, that state you will attain. So if you're absorbed in problems, you will attain the state of problems. And if you're absorbed in Krishna and everything related to Krishna, you will attain the state of divine bliss in love and service for Krishna. So it's a test. It's a test right now in this world for all devotees. Where are you placing your attention when it comes down to it? Where is your nishtha? Where is your conviction? Even Ajamin, he forgot. He was distracted. When he was young, he was serving so much. He was a good devotee. He was always worshipping in the temple. He was doing all the limbs of bhakti, but he became distracted. He became attached to material persons, to material things, to making money. He began performing so many sinful activities, and at the end of his life, he forgot everything. Because he was so sinful, the Yamadutas came to him. They were going to take him to hell. They bound ropes around his neck, his subtle body, and they were dragging his subtle body out of his gross body. That's the definition of death. within the subtle body is the soul. As they were pulling, he began calling for his son Narayan. He had named his son Narayan. Not because he was saying the name Narayan, because if he's only thinking of his son, it's not pure, but because he remembered his previous samskars from when he was younger, at that moment, his serving the Lord. As he was calling his son for one moment, he remembered Narayan, and one Namabhas came. Suddenly, the Vishnudutas appeared, and they stopped those Yamadutas from taking Ajanya, because he chanted one Namabhas, one shadow of the pure name. But we cannot count on that. We cannot depend on that. That I can do all sorts of things in my life, and then in the last second, as I'm leaving my body, then suddenly I'll remember Krishna. We cannot guarantee that. There's no guarantee. So all of our Guru Varga have really given us the process. What is the process? The process is so that at the end of this life, when that time comes, we may remember Krishna. But by practice, by making samskars, deep impressions of Krishna in our lives, remembering all of those things that are favorable for serving Krishna, then we have hope of remembering Krishna at that time when our body and soul is separated. Otherwise, there's no guarantee. So it is so essential, not only now, always, at all times, for us and for all, and also for us to encourage others that we don't know what our destination will be. So now we should take up the process of bhakti. One time my mother, when my Gurudev told me that I should travel and preach, she said, "But I'm your mother, and mother is the first guru. Now is my time to do bhajan and your time to look after me. Later on, when you're older, then you can do bhajan." And I just looked at her and I shook my head and I said, "Mother, you taught me better than that." Right from the beginning of our lives, we were taught about the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. He said, from the beginning of your life, from the tender age of 5, you should begin the process of contemplating Bhagavat Dharma. Means our eternal religion of our soul in service to Krishna. This one should do from the beginning of their life. So now, I just needed to share that. Gopkumar's guru had disappeared, but his firm faith, his nishta, had never left him. So we must maintain, try to come to that state of nishta. He never thought of going in a different direction. He never thought of going in a different direction. That's loyalty. That's where nishta comes from. Nishta means loyalty. One must be loyal to their guru. Our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, when asked what he wanted from his disciples, the main thing was loyalty. Loyalty, as we already told the other day, like a dog. Gurudev told, where was he? Italy. Was he Italy? Yes. He went for a walk at the beach, and there he saw, every day he went for a morning walk and he saw there was a dog who was there just waiting and waiting. And then Gurudev started speaking about this, and he started weeping as he was speaking about it. He said this dog is searching because his master had came and left him there. But he's sure his master is going to return. So every day he's just there waiting. He's looking at everyone. Are you my master? Where is my master? Searching for his master. And Gurudev started remembering the mood of the gopis, searching for Krishna, waiting for Krishna. When will he return? And Gurudev, just seeing the loyalty of this dog, began weeping and weeping and weeping, remembering the loyalty of the gopis for Krishna. What is their mood? You can do whatever you like with me. If you want, you can send me to hell to suffer forever. If that is what pleases you, then let me suffer forever. But my praying, my love for you will never diminish. It will only increase more and more and more. That is the definition of praying. In this world, if somebody that we love does something which displeases us, like maybe they fall in love with someone else, immediately the love that we had turns into hate and bitterness, and we want to destroy that person. But Mahaprabhu in the mood of Srimati Radhika says You can embrace another in front of me, if that's what pleases you. You can embrace me or you can kick me away. You can do whatever you like with me. There is no condition for my love. You are always my prananath. Pran means my life, the Lord of my every life's breath. And there is no condition to it whatsoever. This is love. That is love. So Gurudev is hoping that we will come to that point. But he was remembering that loyalty. He never thought of going in a different direction. So soon after the departure of our Gurudev, we saw that so many went in so many different directions, twisting his teachings, changing his teachings, going here and there, but not holding tight to his instructions and his teachings, even exactly reversing them and trying to encourage others to take these opposite conceptions. This also happened after the departure of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and also among some of the disciples of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. One disciple, very prominent disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, whom was so close, so near and dear to him. After his departure, that disciple left, went and took reinitiation from someone else, started telling the other disciples of Saraswati Thakur that he's not really bona fide or in line, and that you should also get initiated by someone else. So started even trying to pull people away. This kind of thing happens. It's very unfortunate. But we should be like this faithful dog. If you want to move forward on the path of bhakti, then Guru Nishta is essential. We should never think of going in a different direction. Whatever the Guru tells us is the supreme truth of the Vedas, and we should always keep it with us. Srila Govinda Maharaj said, whatever Krishna wants to tell us, he tells through the mouth of Sri Guru. And whatever we want to tell Krishna, we also tell to Sri Guru. Because he is the transparent medium by which our connection to Krishna is made. In one sense, you can say that Guru is the extension of Krishna's hand to us. That point at which Krishna's hand and our hand is connecting, that is Guru. He is that connecting principle. So Gurudeva is saying whatever the Guru tells us is the supreme truth of the Vedas, and we shall always keep it with us. A sadhak may desire to understand everything by relying solely upon his own experience and then moving forward. That's a recipe for bad news. Relying on our own, we have been bound in this material world since time immemorial, trying to rely on ourselves. To err, to make mistakes, is the nature of conditioned souls. Brahm pramada karna patava vipralipsa. The tendency to make mistakes, to come under illusion, imperfect senses, and cheating others. We are bound by this. So on our own, we do not have the strength to release ourselves from the clutches of Maya, or from the fort of Durga. That's what Durga means, fort. That same Durga who is Yoga Maya manifests in this material world as Mahamaya, and she is very good at her service to bewilder and delude the conditioned souls and keep us in this situation. She is very expert at it. I marvel at how amazing she is. One time we heard that Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he said, the difference between all of you and me is that I am afraid of Maya. Interesting, isn't it? We're not afraid of Maya. Oh. One devotee once said, I dare Maya to take me from the lotus feet of my Guru. I think that was the one I already spoke about, who left the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. We should never dare Maya. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Daivi hyesha gunamayi mama Maya durateya. Maya is mine, Mama Maya, and Daivi, divine. She's more powerful than us. Daivi hyesha gunamayi Mama Maya durateya. She's extremely difficult to overcome. But if one surrenders unto me, then very easily they can cross beyond. So then Krishna takes personal care. Krishna takes control, and Maya is embarrassed to do the seva that she's doing, but still she has to do it. But Shastra says that she will stay at a very far distance and with her head bowed when Krishna appears. So the first appearance of Krishna in our life is Sri Guru. If we hold tightly to the lotus feet of Sri Guru and follow his instructions, then Maya cannot come. It is only when we distance ourselves, when we are not faithful, that Maya can come. So Maya mugya jivanahi spata Krishna gyan. The conditioned soul cannot release himself from the clutches of Maya by his own potency. Therefore, we require help from outside of ourselves. That is Sri Guru, Sadhu Guru, Vaisnava. So trying to rely solely upon our own experience to move forward, this will not be successful. Rather than accepting what anyone else may tell him, he may feel that he must directly experience everything himself. I remember hearing many times about different kinds of intelligent persons. First-class intelligence, second-class intelligence, third-class intelligence. First-class intelligence is hearing just once from an authorized bona fide source, you accept it and you follow. Second-class intelligence is you must hear it many, many times. Third-class intelligence is even if you hear it many times, you've never really heard it, you need to experience it for yourself. It means you're trying to do it and trying to figure it out by yourself. It's actually not intelligence at all. Ultimately, we have tried for trillions and trillions of lifetimes on our own. And as I mentioned the other day, the definition of insanity is to try to doing the same thing over and over and over again, but expecting a different result. This is the definition of insanity. So Shastra says, what you have not done before, now you should endeavor. I can't remember the verse at the moment. Srila Prabhupada would quote it quite often. But now is the time to question about the Supreme. Atato Brahma Jigyasa.
You okay?
Yeah, the fan is getting to me a little bit. It's okay. So he feels that he must directly experience everything himself. But the Guru can see that trying to understand everything, step by step, may take millions of lives. Trying to figure it out all on our own from the beginning can take millions of lives. Most of you have some kind of electronic gadget in front of you at this moment. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see what we are doing here. Think about all of the years and all of the intelligence and all of the ideas of the thousands and thousands and thousands of people over time that went into those particular gadgets that you are utilizing right now. A lot of investment, thousands of intelligent persons pulling everything together, and all of the materials as well that went into it. All of the materials, putting those materials together, how to make it all work so that it all fits in the palm of your hand. Now imagine going right back to the beginning and just you, yourself, figuring it all out on your own. Good luck. It can take millions of years. But we already have it in front of us. So why not utilize it for the benefit it gives us? Because it's already there. In the same way, Sri Guru has already seen all of our millions of lifetimes. He has seen the truth. Tattvadarshi. He knows how we can attain that truth. He has the recipe. He has that complete product. Mahaprabhu has that complete product. It's already done for us. All we need to do is accept it with faith. We don't need to try to calculate and figure it out from scratch. If we want to be intelligent, yajantihi sumedhasa. Those who are intelligent will take to this process of Harinam Sankirtan as given by Krishna in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if we try to figure it out by ourselves, step by step, it may take millions of lives. What is heaven? What is Siddhalok? What are Bhur, Bhuva, Svar, Maha, Jana and Tapaloks? What kind of things can be seen there? And what kinds of enjoyment are available? What happiness is there within the 8 material coverings? What is in Shivalok? What is in Vaikunthalok? What is in Ramalok? We may desire to see and understand all of this by our own endeavor, and then consider and accept the highest thing. But one does not progress in this way. But one does not progress this way. So here Gurudev is telling us there's so many different levels that you would have to go through. If you try to go on your own, it may be forever. That is actually the point of Brihad Bhagavatamrita and this history of Gopakumar's progression. He's showing us, don't follow that path. Look what happened. Here you're being given everything. Don't follow the path that takes a long, long, long time. You're an eternal soul, part and parcel of Krishna, meant to love and serve him. From the perspective of a Vaisnava, to see that any jiva is independently trying to enjoy separately from Krishna, they see it actually as suffering, because the soul can never find satisfaction there. And their heart bleeds upon seeing the suffering of the jivas of this world. Ati makta charitraya swashritaran chapaline jivaduke sadartaya Sri Nama Prema Daine. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, every selfless welfare worker of the Gaudiya Math should be willing and ready to expend a minimum of 200 gallons of their own blood for the spiritual welfare and spiritual benefit of each individual of this world. It means how much hard work goes into rescuing even one jiva. He himself said that if even one person in all of the millions and billions and trillions of jivas who are in this world accepted what I'm trying to give, and they were somehow liberated from this world and engaged themselves in the service of Krishna, I would find that my mission is successful. How valuable, how rare, and how important and amazing is that? If even one person. So trying on our own, this is not the process. And they see it as suffering. If we become stuck in the Brahmajyoti for millions and trillions of lifetimes, this is, from their perspective, from someone who understands what it's like to serve Krishna, the idea of being stuck without service to Krishna is like hell for them. Hanuman, Rupa Goswami has his prayer in Padyavali. Hanumanji himself is saying, I could never accept this idea of merging if it is devoid of the opportunity of serving you, my dear Lord Ram. How could I accept such a thing? Hanuman is desperate for seva. The bhakta will never accept this sayujya mukti, merging, liberation. Srimad Narayan says in Bhagavatam, even if I offer to them, they will never accept this, because it is devoid of seva. And seva is the nature of all souls. So Gurudev here is saying, we may desire to see and understand all of this by our own endeavor, and then consider and accept the highest thing, but one does not progress this way. For instance, there may be some worldly man who doesn't practice any sadhana. We will say to him, my friend, performing bhajana Bhagavan is the most beneficial thing for you. Leave everything else behind and simply engage in bhajan. Bhajan doesn't mean sitting and singing. That's part of bhajan. Bhajan means all of the activities that one undertakes to awaken loving devotion for Krishna. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmani Vedanam, Sadhu Sanganam, Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Mathurabha, Sri Murtir, Shradhaya Sevan, all of them together, when one is really focusing on them and endeavoring to awaken bhakti, love and devotion for Krishna, then this is called bhajan. So my friend, performing bhajan of Bhagavan is the most beneficial thing for you. Leave everything else behind and simply engage in bhajan. So the man may think, but what about the love of my parents? And I have not yet married. I want to have a little experience of family life. And your friends will also tell you, you need to experience this thing. You have to experience it. Be careful. Your friends may cheat you as well. One friend of mine once said, when I was much, much younger, and I was a little bit nonsense, the friend said to me, love is never wrong. I discovered that it very well could be. You can get yourself into big trouble just following your heart. So, just because your friend says something, just because your friend gives some advice, if that advice is not in line with the advice of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, the advice of Mahaprabhu and Krishna, that advice could send you straight on the path to hell. So is it really a friendly thing to say? Love is never wrong? Most husbands and wives wouldn't agree. If someone else was coming from the outside and taking your beloved, and they'd say, oh, love is never wrong. Well, it's wrong for them. So we shouldn't just take any advice. We should take that advice which is in line with Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. 1 second. If he has sufficient merit, I have to end on the positive note. Gurudev always said, Madhurena samarpayet, all is well that ends sweetly. If he has sufficient merit, sukriti, from previous lifetimes, then he might leave his home. But for those who don't have this previous merit, it will be very difficult. Therefore, we can understand that those who have left their families to engage in bhajan with great determination have sukriti from previous births. There is no necessity for them to become involved in family life. Great devotees like Shukadev Goswami and Narad Rishi had this previous merit. Generally, by observing someone's activities, we can discern whether they have this sukriti or not. So here, Srila Gurudev is talking about something that is quite painful for most, the idea of leaving your family. But if one has the sufficient merit, they will understand that this is not a bad thing if they actually have real, genuine attraction to Krishna. This is vairagya. When your rag, when your attraction is real and spontaneous and specialized, focused, vairagya. Generally it means renunciation. But real renunciation is not just artificially renouncing something. Real renunciation means when your attraction to Krishna is so great that nothing else in this world holds any charm for you whatsoever. This is real vairagya. And this is the nature of all pure devotees. That there's nothing in this world that is remotely attractive to them. They're only attracted to Krishna. So this is a way that we can test the depth of our devotion, the depth of our bhakti. Jnana, vairagya. It causes knowledge. Transcendental knowledge is manifesting in our heart, and also natural detachment from material things and attraction and attachment to Krishna and transcendental things are manifesting in our heart. This is the barometer for our progress in bhakti as Srimad Bhagavatam is given. So we will end here. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Sri Sanatan Goswamipada ki jai, Sri Gopkumar ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Gaur Premanande,
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Prabhu ki jai, Shri Radha Raman Sarkar ki jai, Giridhar Maharaj ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Ram. Radhe 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 Jai Jai Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai Jai Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam Gaur Premanande. So we look forward to being with you tomorrow, where I believe it might be the day of Vrindavan Das Thakur. And also we will continue. If it is his day, we will speak about him because there's a lot to speak about him. But if it's not, we will continue with going beyond Vaikuntha. And please, you're all welcome to participate with us. Thank you for engaging us in this service to our Srila Gurudev. Haribol, Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare